Hello, welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm painting a bouquet of roses, and if you do, please help the algorithm find me by giving me a thumbs up and hitting the subscribe button. Okay, so we'll get on with it. Here's my palette of titanium white, cadmium yellow light, raw sienna, raw umber, French ultramarine blue, sap green, alizarin crimson, and a tiny amount of cad red light that I had left over from my last painting. I'm using raw sienna to outline each of the roses to show me where everything's going to be. These lines get absorbed into the painting as I go along. I find it easy to do this, show me where my roses are actually going to be, and they may not always stay there. I might change my mind as I go along. Sometimes I do a little thumbnail sketch to show me how the bouquet should look, but I quite often just do it straight on the canvas like I'm doing now. It's so lovely here in Southwest Florida, and I've got the door standing wide open, and I've been putting birdseed in my bottle brush tree, and you can hear the crows. They've just discovered the seed. I sometimes have several different kinds of birds all feeding at one time. I've seen cardinals along with blue jays and red-headed woodpeckers. I love those little things. And they'll all be creeping over the branches, picking up seeds. It's lovely to see and to hear. I've decided to put in this bow, but my bows are not always that successful. So we'll see how it goes. It's always worth giving it a try. Sometimes they turn out really nice. I'll put in some leaves. Sometimes I get too many. I like to have some sort of poking out the sides like this, and I'll always put some darker ones around the rose, because then when I pull the petals across the dark greens, it gives a sort of translucency to the rose petal. This one, we're going to see the back of the rose, and so we'll see all the sepals and the petals on the back of the rose. I'm going to do just one rosebud as well. Okay, so that's it for the bouquet. I'm going to work on the background, so I'll skip through this bit. It's already quite dry, but I'm trying to blend it a little with my Kabuki makeup brush. So first I'm going to reinforce the stems a little bit. I'm going to put in patches of colour and then use straight titanium white to pull in petals on top of it. I'm putting in these darker leaves with some sap green with a touch of ultramarine blue in there, and these will provide a contrast. I'll work on this top rose first. I think they're going to be mostly white, and the base colour will sort of peep through, but I'm thinking of them as mostly white roses. It doesn't always turn out the way I have it in my head, I've got to say. I use a sideways swipe to do the petals that we only see the top of, or the top edge of. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm not totally happy with this ribbon, and I don't see enough of the rose stems, which are interesting in themselves because of the thorns and the coloration. So I'm going to change it, I think. I'm working on the leaves. I try to keep all parts of my painting evenly developed. I don't like to work on one area and then see an uneven, unbalanced painting. I'm going to dot in the little center stamens or whatever they're called in the middle of the rose. I think it's stamens. I particularly like this full-blown, old-fashioned rose. They used to grow on a farm where I lived as a child, and they had a beautiful, heavenly scent to them. I just remembered we're only seeing the back of this rose, so I'm going to put in the sepals on the stem. I've decided to put more colour in some of my roses. I'm just not up for white roses today, I suppose. I like it better already. It looks much more lively. I think this rose will be the lightest in the bunch. You can hear my neighbour, he's building a little arbour with a swing in it. That will be lovely. I like this a lot better. I don't always paint exactly what's in my head. Sometimes I sort of get there and then I decide on something different. So every painting is an adventure, really. I have to put it aside and think about that ribbon because I'm not totally happy with it. I think this white one needs some contrast, so I'm painting some pink against it, suggesting another rose. Now, because I lost the edges of that rose, the petals, I'm putting those in again because it needs that nice fluttery translucent edge to make it look rose-like. As the white dries, it loses its brightness, so I go back in and reinforce those 2 or 3 times before I'm finished with the painting. I'm not thrilled with this ribbon, and I think I'll have to leave it overnight and give it some time and then see what I can do. I'll keep picking away at it forever, but it won't get right until I've stepped back from it and had a think. I'm putting in some twiggy bits. I think they loosen up a painting a lot, and I might put in too many, but I enjoy painting twigs. I just can't resist. I'm going to put some in the sort of balancing out the others. That's my justification. I'm using cad yellow and a little titanium to put some light on the leaves. I'm reinforcing the twigs with some light and dark too. They need a little work. Well, as you can see, I worked on the bow last night. I forgot to put my camera and the lights on, so it's not wonderful. But I changed the angle of it so that I can show more of the rose stems, and I think that looks better, but I'm not happy with the ribbon itself, and I might never be. So it's one of those things I have to work on in the future. I don't want to disappoint anyone, but I think I'm really done with it for this painting. I like being able to see the stems, though I think that improves the painting. I'll add some more light to the ribbon and see if that helps a bit. If you got this far, thank you very much for watching, and please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.